If you had the power to delete one thing from this world, as if it never existed or ceased to exist, what would it be? Alzheimer's and dementia. Also, diseases like ALS can go kick rocks too. Any permanently disabling or terminal disease, condition, etc. Add multiple sclerosis, from which I suffer, and we got a deal. Intestinal problems. Like colitis for example? I got diagnosed with severe IBS and a malabsorption issue a year ago, and it has consumed my life and changed it. I'm so sick and tired of literally being sick and tired. It's painful. My brother has Crohn's disease and I hate watching him suffer as well. He got diagnosed at 8 and has been such a sick kid with hospitalizations and such. He's almost 20 now and luckily lives a pretty normal adult life now, but the illness still controls his life in some aspects. Intestinal problems are no joke. 21 years with Crohn's disease, 10 over 10 do not recommend. Cancer. Fuck cancer. Please don't fuck cancer. You can't stop me. Unless we're talking about zodiac signs, it's perfectly fine to have sex with people born between June 20th and July 20th, provided they're consenting adults. As for the disease, yeah, don't have sex with that. Yes please, do not stop having sex with us. It feels nice. Your neighborhood's friendly and extremely sensitive cancer. Unfit parents. I'm positive it would solve many of the world's problems, on many different levels. Exactly. It's like Steve Hofstetter said. Most people who don't want kids realize that they don't have the time, or the money, or the love it takes to raise a child. Then you have so many ignorant fucks that are responsible for overpopulation saying that goes there and boom. Baby. I'm probably not going to have kids because I don't really have the patience for them. And that's okay. But if people would stop and think before putting things where they honestly shouldn't go, this world would be a lot better to live in. True. A child that grows up without love is incredibly more likely to become an addict, abusive, violent, turn to a path of crime and so on. So much of human-related problems in the world can be solved if kids just receive love. Dementia. I am a young person who forget things too much. One of my greatest fear is dying alone, the other is that my tendency of forgetting things will develop into dementia, and I won't be able to remember my precious memories. Who are we without our memories? We are all forgetful sometimes. Don't worry dear, memory stays good if you stay alert. I work puzzles, read things, look up things. Some people just naturally have better memory than others. My 5-year-old grandson can name all the presidents and tell you something about them. My mother could say her ABCs backwards, count backwards from 100. We all have talents, discover yours. Thank you. That was very wholesome. Check out Neuroplasticity and Dr. Wendy Suzuki. There's plenty you can do to tip the odds in your favor. My gran has dementia and is now in a home, but for 6 years the hardest part wasn't seeing her fall apart. It kills you quicker as well as all the other side effects. No. The hardest part is on those that have to look after the one with dementia. It tore my parents apart. More bickering and fighting and stress and frustration in their 60s. We retired, for this shit. I genuinely started to worry they'd get a divorce. Now she's gone and I can see the joy and light back with them again, but it may have had irreversible repercussions. One could argue it highlighted their issues that were always there but still. And nobody else offers to help because they say they care but they don't. Everyone just wants peace and quiet and an easy life. Resentment kicked in like a hand grenade across the whole family. Yep. My grandma had it and my mom, who had just retired, took care of her for 3 years before she couldn't do it anymore and my grandma moved to a nursing home. My aunt and uncle did pretty much fuck all, maybe called once a month maybe. None of the heavy lifting, literally or figuratively. Fast forward 3 years I start to notice my mom mixing up her words and writing herself notes that look like nonsense after she'd been sharp as a tack for 65 years. I take care of her, living with her, unpaid, 24/7, and my 2 sisters who live in the same city just can't bother to lift a finger, unless it's to criticize her care or comb through my mom's bank records looking for where I'm stealing from her. Obviously I wasn't. That destroyed our relationship when we'd previously all been super close. We'd all 3 at one point even moved out of our mom's house into another house together. I mean we were close. But now it's hard for me to not feel massively resentful and still furious for how unnecessarily hard they made that whole experience for me. So yeah. The family destruction is a casualty itself that a lot of times isn't talked about. I'm the you in this scenario with my mom. And my siblings, like your sisters, do almost nothing to help. I see you. I feel so bad because everyone here is writing about depression, poverty, corruption, etc., and the first thing I am thinking about are bed bugs. Fuck bed bugs, all my homies hate bed bugs. I work pest control, and no joke, this is the main thing that keeps me working pest control. My favorite feeling in the world is killing these little pests. There is honestly no better feeling in the whole world than seeing the look on someone's face a week later when I go to their house and see how everything's going. You can see it immediately when you look at them. They look healthier and more alive, because they haven't been having the life drained from them by a little parasite that keeps them from sleeping and causes them constant paranoia. It is the one thing that makes the long days and long nights all worth it. Last spring, I started waking up with red spots all over my body. Every day that I woke up, there would be more. I started to panic research what the hell could be biting me, and I was certain it was bed bugs. I was so itchy that I couldn't do anything but sit and stare at the floor because it took everything not to scratch myself. I put bed bug dust under my bed, and I took the socket plates off the walls and put more bed bug dust in that too. I stripped my mattress, treated it with bed bug foam mattress spray 3 times, put a mattress protector specifically for bed bugs, washed all of my sheets 3 times, and then I struggled to sleep, which I couldn't from the constant, itching paranoia. The next morning, I woke up with more bites. I had more than 100 red marks on my abdomen, chest, collarbones, and inside of my arms and thighs. I decided it was finally time to go to the doctor to get some sort of relief. These aren't bed bug bites. I stopped and looked at him like he had grown a second head. Are you kidding me? He confirmed that they weren't, and that he believed that I had a skin condition known as pityriasis rosacea. In my case, he thought that it was from stress. I'm a pre-med college student, and I was in the middle of midterms. I had just gotten hired at a new job, my car was totaled from a hailstorm, and every night I went to bed I was more and more stressed because I thought bed bugs were ravaging me as I slept. As it turns out, the red marks were only spreading because I was so stressed about the bed bugs. As soon as he diagnosed me, the red marks stopped spreading. Eventually, I researched the condition to the point where I found that going to a tanning salon would help the marks go away faster. Point of the story: bed bugs suck and the human brain is insanely powerful. Child abuse. All forms of abuse to broaden the blanket. Yes, I wanted to answer op with the ability to hurt other beings on purpose. BDSM practitioners sob in the corner. Okay, slight change to the clauses. The ability to hurt others without the recipient's consent. Puts corset back on. 3000% on board then. Cancer in every form. I lost my 14-year-old brother to cancer 3 months ago, and I still don't know how I'm coping. Second this on all levels. Hey dude, I lost my brother to cancer a few years ago. If you ever need/want to talk or need some advice, don't be shy reaching out. We have to have each other's backs. As someone who's seen combat, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Did you know that the original title for War and Peace was actually War? What is it good for? Depression. I've been majorly affected by it and seen what it can do to others who lose their battle. No one should have to feel that alone and shitty. Just had a quick think about that. Depression not existing would absolutely fucking rock. Just go a step further and delete mental illness. That and anxiety. OMFG, dealing with anxiety is a nightmare. Totally this, I thought the lowest point of my life was the depression era, only to come out of it and swing all the way to the other end and find panic attacks and no sleep. For someone who has courted suicidal thoughts on every depressing day for years, it was the first time I would have actually done it, and not in a good way. When you're losing your own sanity and watching it all go down, it's a surreal feeling, and you would do anything to stop it, before you can't hold yourself together to do even that. I spent 2 years getting consumed by my mental health. Fully conscious of every situation I was going through. Felt like one of those guys on the Titanic knowing it's going down, but nothing to do. Like you, I split my life into pre-depression, depression, life after depression. Only to realize I didn't have life eras. Depressed me and fully functioning me are the same person at the same time. I owe my life to clonidine. A blood pressure medication used off-label for anxiety and for people doing drug withdrawals. Safe for long-term dosages, and mainly just decreases your body's flight or fight response equivalent to your anxiety. Mosquitoes. Just the ones that suck blood. The rest are okay, they are food for other animals. Fun fact: male mosquitoes don't suck blood, only the females do. How many generations you think survive once all females are extinct instantaneously? Life, finds a way.